Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Ultra Premiere, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Aurorus! Aurorus on a classic ABB double ice team for the Ultra Premiere. Ice types are quite strong as there are a lot of very solid and powerful flyers in this meta, most notably Charizard. And there are few better answers to Charizard in this meta than Aurorus. Aurorus will be serving as the closer along with Walrein on the safe swap. Walrein, a titan of the Ultra League formats, very strong, very powerful, very spammy, very tanky. And it serves as an amazing safe swap option because it is able to either flip switch advantage for you or grab a shield advantage outright, which sets up Aurorus to really close strong. And also on this team, we've got Sirfetch'd on the lead. Sirfetch'd will protect our back two Pokemon from the strong pseudo fighters, and it can absolutely put in work because it has a very versatile moveset. Also very good at grabbing shields for Aurorus to close in the end. And before we dive into the featured set of the video, going to start things off with some bonus battles that I thought were a lot of fun. Here we go. Charizard lead going into Walrein immediately. That's a nightmare lead for Sirfetch'd. They bring in an Obstagoon. So this is the ABB line working to perfection, drawing out that counter user in the form of Obstagoon so that Aurorus can avoid it in the end and hopefully get a line onto that Charizard. Gonna just spam off these icicle spears just as fast as we can. And holy smokes, Walrein putting in the work on this Obstagoon. You love to see it. And they are gonna finally throw a move. It is a cross chop, but because we are so bulky, we hang in long enough to threaten with another icicle spear, which would have allowed us to flip switch. They don't want that to happen. They have very good counting, so they do dump all that energy that they tried farming. They're now energy dry. Gonna wait down the switch clock and look to counter down with our Sirfetch'd, whacking down the Obstagoon, and they do, of course, come back in with the Charizard, making a play into our Aurorus, and they've got a Shadow Snorlax in the back. So they are running the team number 3 from my strong budget teams video. Shouts to them. We do go for that Meteor Beam. I did not anticipate them shielding that. We really wanted to get off that big damage while also buffing our attack with that guaranteed attack buff from the Meteor Beam. This is what makes Aurora so effective. Although it may literally have the worst typing in Go Battle League, it more than makes up for that with its very stellar moveset. We are shielding all of these because the win condition somewhat lies with Aurorus, so we now are at a shield disadvantage. We do get that farm down. Gonna throw Sirfetch'd in here to chip this Charizard with an ice or weather ball range because they do still have a shield. If we can grab that final shield and chip this within weather ball range, we will be looking pretty good here. They are going to go for a Dragon Claw. That's not going to cut it. They're hoping to farm us down, but Sirfetch'd has something else in mind. We were going to make it to another Night Slash, which would have really threatened them. So they do dump their energy, and now we are looking pretty good here. I'm thinking it's just about within Weather Ball range. We get the shield with the first one. We were one Powder Snow off from the second one. And this will hopefully allow us to say bye-bye to the Charizard. I had a strong feeling it would. Aurorus doing what it does best, that is close the game in dominant fashion. Good game, well played. Oh, I'm telling you guys, Aurorus is a lot of fun, and I'm telling you that moveset more than makes up for that typing. But here we go, Shadow Dragonite. That is an awful lead for us. We go into our Walrein safe swap, and we draw out a Poliwrath. So again, ABB working to perfection, drawing out the major threat to Aurorus so that Sirfetch'd can come back in, take it out, setting up Aurorus to close. That is how the team is designed, and so far it is working to perfection. We will tank everything, not going to shield anything. We're going to preserve the shields for our remaining 2 Pokemon. And we do force them to throw, as we were going to make it to yet another EQ. Again, that's why Walrein is so clutch on the swap. Forces Pokemon to think twice about trying to farm down. And at this point, I decided to preserve the shields for Aurorus. Seeing that Dragonite, not sure what else they could have in the back. We do counter down and leave with loaded energy. Going to throw Aurorus in. And they were running ABA flying. Holy smokes. Oh my goodness, if you're a part of my Discord, you will know about the chatter amongst the community in terms of these ABA teams in the Ultra Premier. It is insane to see ABA flying. That is definitely a choice, and Aurorus absolutely loves to see it. So we have to play carefully. Aurorus is in prime position to absolutely dominate this. Gonna call this Dragon Claw here. Had a feeling they wanted to bait our final shield so that they could perhaps land a big superpower on our Aurorus. And they do grab the final one, but we are absolutely loaded. We did get off a Meteor Beam, which has buffed our attack. And they do let that go. They come back in with the Dragonite. Gonna go for this Weather Ball here. I do imagine this gets the final shield. And I don't think we'll make it to another one. This Dragonite did have some residual energy. We do not. So now, getting a little dicey, getting a little sweaty here. This should just about KO. Dragonite hits like a truck, but we've got loaded energy. We're hanging on by a thread with a few HP. Gonna go for this Night Slash and say bye-bye to the Dragonite. And we whack down the Charizard with resisted counters. Sirfetch'd. Holy smokes. What a pick for this meta. Good game, well played. Sirfetch'd putting the team on its back, taking over that last game. You love to see it. You also love to see a lead like this. We've got a Jellicent lead. I've been seeing a lot of these pop up lately, guys. And whenever you see this, you've got to be thinking my OG original anti-Walrein team that I introduced to the community back when Walrein got its community day. I introduced this team as a anti-Walrein team, and ever since, it has taken off like wildfire. We do shield out of caution because that could have been a Shadow Ball, and the one thing you don't want is for them to one-shot you with a potential Shadow Ball. So the team is Jellicent lead, Scrafty, and Charm, Alolan Ninetales in the back. That's what we're reading. This team, I'm telling you, took off like wildfire. So what we really want to do is chip this Jellicent within potential earthquake range, but I don't imagine they'll stay in. We're gonna go into Walrein to draw out that Scrafty. There it is, right on cue. Reading the team like a book so far. At this point, I'm thinking it's my anti-Walrein team from seasons prior. And I am reading that there is a Charm A9 in the back. And if that is the case, we're looking pretty good here. They're just going to go straight Power-Up Punch. I don't recommend doing that generally. The general play pattern that you'll want to go with if you're running Scrafty is Foul Play, then Power-Up Punch, because that sets you up to do quite well. But they are going straight Power-Up Punch, and that's working for us because it's allowing us to stay in this matchup much longer and really whittle away at that Scrafty. So now what we're going to do, wait down the switch timer, and of course, come back in with our Sirfetch'd. And I don't think we'll plan on farming down. We're just going to get rid of the Scrafty because what I don't want is for them to have the ability to save that Scrafty and swap out. So we will get rid of it. And there it is, the Charm A9. So read my old team like a book. And what do I always say on this channel, guys? If you create a team and you invent the team, you know how to beat it and you know how to read it. So all we have to do is go for this Meteor Beam here. This will be more than enough to say bye-bye to the Jellicent. And now I'm thinking Aurorus has just enough bulk to hang in here long enough. This is just a Weather Ball. This is not gonna KO Aurorus. A lot tankier than most people realize. We hang on, and we've got the Meteor Beam locked and loaded. Had to undertap that. That was key, which allows us to take out the Alolan Ninetales. Holy smokes. What a closer, Aurorus. Can absolutely close a game. Good game, well played. Had a lot of fun with those bonus battles, but we now move into the featured set of the video, and here we go, another Jellicent. So guys, the featured set here happens to be the first set of the day with this team, and you guys saw how to play it perfectly in that last bonus battle. In this battle, you're going to see how not to play it. So let's go over this. We're starting out really good here. We do pressure that first shield, and we call the Bubble Beam. That is an amazing start. And you can play it this way, because generally they do go for that Bubble Beam, but you could also play cautiously and shield first. And we do go for another Leaf Blade. They, of course, tank it after debuffing us. And we're going to try... So what we're trying to do here is take out the Jellicent on the lead. We're trying too hard to do that. Going to go for another Leaf Blade here. And it won't quite KO, but it will chunk if they let it go. And they do let it go. So now, big misplay here, trying to farm down a tanky ghost type, forcing us to shield the next Shadow Ball. What we should have done is either catch the Shadow Ball here, or immediately swap in the Walrein, and they've got a Nidoqueen in the back. So you can see Nidoqueen in the place of Charm Alolan Ninetales. A lot of people have adapted the team since its release to include Nidoqueen in the place of Charm A9. So we do pivot into Walrein, and there it is. That's the Scrafty there. But the problem is that we're down on shields. We have no shields to protect ourselves, and we let our Sirfetch'd get far too low. So now, as we all know, especially if you guys were able to catch yesterday's video, you will know that Scrafty up a shield is next to unstoppable, especially in the Premier League where legendaries are not allowed. It just allows Scrafty to get way out of control when you give it a shield advantage. And now we're not in good shape because our Sirfetch'd is too low to handle a boosted Scrafty. And yeah, so the misplay was trying to take out that Jellicent, allowing our Sirfetch'd to get too low because we can't come in and they're just going to counter us down. So we're forced to come in with our Aurorus onto a boosted Scrafty, and it's just gonna lay waste to the remainder of the team. So had we caught the Shadow Ball or swapped immediately to preserve health on Sirfetch'd, we would have been healthy enough, and we would have still had a shield to not only take out that Scrafty, but to have Aurorus at an even shield to handle the Nidoqueen. But hopefully you guys learn from my mistake and play it properly. Good game, well played. I'm telling you guys, with so many Charizards running rampant, there is no better time to run Aurorus. And here we go. Shadow Ampharos lead. This is quite fine for us. The reason why is because not only do we hit like a truck, but we win CMP tie over just about everything. And you can just about bank on that in just about any matchup in this meta. They do shield up our Leaf Blade, and they make an aggressive play into an Alolan Muck. So we didn't have to throw this. Definitely should not have thrown that. Should have banked that energy, but we do make the play into our Walrein. As of course we do have access to Earthquake, which would basically one-shot this Alolan Muck here. We tank damage for days, not shielding anything from this Alolan Muck. Just gonna overload by one and go for this EQ here. They are down a shield. They may not want a shield, and they don't. They let their Alolan Muck go down. And just like that, Walrein has done what it was here to do, and that is flip switch for you. They're going to throw immediately. They know that they are getting quite low, and they are already down a shield, so that is beautiful. They do throw the energy, and now we're just going to throw Aurorus in here to get ahead on energy, and they've got a Charizard in the back. That's what I'm talking about, guys. The reason why Aurorus is such a good answer to Charizard is because with that rock typing, you resist the fast move pressure, and you only take neutral from those hard-hitting blast burns. And with Charizard, you can go right for the Meteor Beam right off the bat, boost that attack, grab a shield, and we do grab a shield. And now, once you get that Meteor Beam off, they will almost always shield it because it does one shot, of course. You can tank a Blast Burn, but once you get that off, the boosted attack and the boosted Weather Ball is generally more than enough to take out the Charizard. And they are just going to go for a Dragon Claw, trying to get rid of us as fast as possible here. But we are not having that. Going to shield that up and look to get rid of this Charizard here. We say bye-bye to the Charizard. And now we knew that we were just a few counters off and that we win CMP tie. So we just throw Sirfetch'd in here to send this thing packing. We say bye-bye to the Ampharos and Sirfetch'd. my goodness. The MVP, at least on my roster, in this meta right now. Good game, well played. This team was quite fun and quite effective, and here we go. For reasons like this, finally picking up a positive lead in the form of Obstagoon. Now, right here, guys, obviously, I knew they were gonna insta-swap, but I was reading that they would insta-swap Charizard, as generally, if they lead Obstagoon, they've got a Charizard in the back. So I tried the 5-head and anticipate the Charizard swap, bringing in Aurorus, and would you know, they decided to insta-swap a Waterfall Gyarados of all things. So that's not helpful at all. But we do take it out. We baited with a Weather Ball, and we went for that Meteor Beam. Flipping switch with Aurorus. Holy smokes. That worked out beautifully. Aurorus coming in clutch, allowing us to work out of that failed 5-head play there. And they do have a Charizard, so my team read was accurate. They had the Charizard, but they were safe swapping Waterfall Gary. So that's fine. Obviously would have wanted to have our Aurorus on this and our Walrein on the Waterfall Gyarados, but it's fine. Walrein can still do quite well against Charizard, as it's quite tanky. We tank a Blast Burn, as we saw there, quite comfortably, and we can rip off these Icicle Spears quite fast, and they really do add up. They hit for a lot of neutral damage on Charizard, and I do believe we let this go because we no longer need Walrein. Walrein was here to grab shields and health. We had loaded energy on our Sirfetch'd. That Charizard has no shields, which means we're saying bye-bye to the Charizard. And now we are in cruise control here. That Obstagoon can do nothing to our Sirfetch'd. Kind of flex on him, call the Night Slash. That's resisted, not going to cut it. And we are just going to go for this Leaf Blade and put this poor Obstagoon out of its misery. This is why this team is so powerful right now. We take out that Obstagoon, and we close it yet again with our Sirfetch'd. Good game, well played. Sirfetch'd Double Ice was the real deal in the Ultra Premiere. For reasons like this, guys, a lot of people lead with these water types, and it is a Waterfall Primarina. These waterfalls with stab, are absolutely chunking our Sirfetch'd, but we do have access to super effective Leaf Blades, and we are now grabbing shields from the Primarina. And they tried to catch onto a Trevenant. Tried to catch that Leaf Blade onto their Grass-type Trevenant. Not falling for that. We're going for a Night Slash and taking half of its health as we make a play into our Aurorus. The reason why we align Aurorus onto this Trevenant is because we take super effective from those waterfalls with our rock typing, and we can live Seed Bombs from Trevenant and still fight back with super effective Weather Balls. Just going to undercharge this so that we can be relatively close to a Meteor Beam to threaten that Primarina, which will undoubtedly come back in, and they do. So that undercharge was perfect. We were only 4 off from our Meteor Beam, which is ideal timing. They have to shield this if they want to hang on to that Primarina, and they will shield and get the farm down. We now have a 2 shield advantage. Going to come back in with our Sirfetch'd, try to get rid of this Primarina, but they kept perfect track of our energy, knowing that we were 4 off from the Leaf Blade. They catch that onto a Charizard. Nice catch by them. A nice job keeping track of our energy, but it will not help them one bit because we have their shields. They have no shields. We have 2. And Walrein is going to absolutely put in work on this Charizard. So the way we're going to play this is shield everything from Charizard. We know that Primarina's at a move, but no one move from Primarina will KO our Walrein. So we can safely shield all of this. Doesn't matter if they're baiting. Gonna shield it all and look to farm down and have an EQ loaded for that Primarina. Like I said, we know that they're at a move, but no one move will one-shot Walrein. We're quite bulky. Too bulky for that. It's the Moonblast with Stab, and like I said, we live that, and we do have this EQ locked and loaded. We're saying bye-bye to the Primarina, and Walrein this time is closing the game strong. That's the beauty of this team. So powerful, so strong right now. Good game, well played. 2 things you want in Pokemon Go Battle League. You want to win and you want to have fun. This team does both. And here we go. Swampert lead. This is obviously very good because we do win CMP tie and we have access to Leaf Blade, which can one-shot Swampert. But it's also very tricky because Hydro Cannon hits like a truck and Swampert outpaces. So we tried to catch the Hydro Cannon, but they also tried to catch our Leaf Blade. So we both had the same idea in mind. They wanted to catch that onto their Charizard. We wanted to catch theirs onto our Walrein. So here we are. Walrein on Charizard. We are down a shield, but as we saw in those previous battles, Walrein can do quite well against Charizard. The Icicle Spears really put in work on it. They did tank our first one. Not likely they will want to tank the second one, and they do shield. So the way we're going to play this now is we're going to let Walrein go down. We're not going down on shields, especially knowing that they have a loaded Swampert lurking in the back. So what we're going to do here actually is come in with Aurorus and look to farm down. We know that we will likely have to tank a Blast Burn in the process. They are at the Blast Burn energy. And we will let that go because we do tank that. Hits for neutral, gets us into the yellow, and we do get that farm down. So now we're reading that they will blind throw that Hydro Cannon that they had stored. So going to catch that on Sirfetch'd. We do live it, not by much, but we do live it, and we've got loaded energy, and they've got a Walrein in the back. Holy smokes, these ABA teams are insane in the Ultra Premier. It is quite astounding to see. They are ABA weak to grass, and we've got grass coverage on our Sirfetch'd, which is allowing us to feast on this Walrein here. They do take us out. We pressured that shield, and we had loaded energy from farming down that Charizard. We get to this, and we're saying bye-bye to the Walrein, boosting our attack. Wanted to preserve a shield just in case we needed it for the Swampert, but we did not. We're boosted, we're spammy, we're saying bye-bye to the Swampert, and how fitting, Aurorus closing the game strong in the final battle. That is the team, my friends. Good game well played to our opponent, and I'm telling you guys, there's no better time to run Aurorus. No better time to run double ice, guys. They handle those Charizards beautifully, particularly Aurorus. As with that rock typing, you resist that fast move pressure. Only take neutral from those blast burns, and you can absolutely threaten those shields with the threat of the Meteor Beam one-shot. It seems like everyone, and literally everyone's running a Charizard on their team, so that is why I wanted to run this team right here. Double Ice. Started out with Toxicroak. I wanted to pair them with a fighter just to have some steel coverage. Toxicroak wasn't quite getting the job done. So I had to revert to old reliable Sirfetch'd, which is a Swiss Army knife of charge move potential. And it turned out, it worked out beautifully. Having Night Slash to hit those Trevenants and Leaf Blade to hit those water types is a recipe for a lot of success for our backline. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching and keep up the grind. Thank you guys.